Welcome to America 451 with your host, Bill Monty.
Hello and welcome to America 451. I am your host, Bill Monty. And once again, I am asking the question, America, what are you doing to piss me off this week? It's starting to get serious, folks. We're moving away from kind of lighthearted being able to laugh about things. Now we've got to start thinking really hard about the consequences of another Trump presidency. Just this past Tuesday, I read my notes here, in an interview with a right-wing conspiracy theorist, Trump told his supporters not to trust the outcome of the election. I don't trust the system, he said. There are horrible, horrible cheaters. They probably cheated in 2016. They definitely did in 2020. The problem in 2016 was they just didn't cheat enough. Trump followed this up with a threat on a social media post saying that when he wins, that those people that he believes cheated will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law in ways never before seen in this country. Right after that followed envelopes being sent to offices of state attorneys, attorney generals across the nation, Iowa, Nebraska, Colorado, and more. These envelopes contained a white substance, and the return address was noted as being from USTEA, the U.S. Trader Elimination Army. How terrifying is that? The U.S. Trader Elimination Army. Now, thankfully, the substance that was in those envelopes turned out to be harmless this time. But we're not talking about people who are sane here, and we're not talking about a sane candidate. We are talking about people that wouldn't mind doing away with other people if they think they caused an election to go against Donald Trump. One of the things we have to think about is the Electoral College. Because right now we are in a situation, we actually have been for quite a while, where you can win more votes than your opponent and still not be president at the end of it due to the Electoral College. I talked about that in the last episode, so I'm not going to go into the history of it all over again. But needless to say, if you start working out the numbers, Kamala Harris and her team, her campaign, would need to come up with 4 to 5 million more votes than Donald Trump gets in order to secure a victory. And even then, if that happens, she's going to have to face somehow a MAGA revolution. That undoubtedly will happen. Donald Trump is not going to go quietly into the night if he loses this election. He is going to contest it through the courts. He's going to manipulate Congress. And remember, if for some reason the Electoral College ends up in a tie, Congress decides who becomes president. And that's controlled by Republicans. We are walking up a slippery slope, my friends. So it's not enough to sit here and applaud because Kamala Harris goes and does an interview with Oprah and gets the backing of performers and celebrities such as Taylor Swift, Billie Eilish, and more. People start feeling good. She's got to be the best candidate the Democratic Party has ever had right now. Because if she's not, all hell is going to break loose. We're not dealing with sane individuals. And with all that said, yes, this was the week that, again, another attempt or alleged attempt was made on Donald Trump's life. That has to stop. No matter what we're facing, we cannot be that country that settles things by assassination. That cannot be. Get out there and vote. Talk. Don't be afraid to talk about what's going on in this country with this election. It is too important. Up next, Nipples. I'm wondering who it was that decided women can't have their bare breasts in public. I know. We're really doing a 360 around from Donald Trump in the election, aren't we? But America, this is one of the things that I don't know if it's pissing me off, but it does puzzle me. It seems that other countries have a very different attitude about women's breasts. Now, I know in this country, men have decided everything about women for as long as I can remember. This has not worked out that well. But somewhere along the line, they decided that women should not be able to show their breasts without it being a crime of some kind, without it being indecent. And yet I can think of no other sex or gender that would love to see more breasts out in public than men. So why on earth was it decided that that can't be done? What I can't understand is that what is allowed to be shown sometimes is the breast itself, but not the nipple. It seems the nipple is the big problem here. And yet men have nipples. And men can go and take their shirt off and do yard work or at the beach or sports events or picnics or parks or whatever it might be, and there's no problem. If any woman did exactly the same thing, it would be scandal. There's a very good chance she would be arrested for indecent exposure. I'll go another step further. I don't understand why buttocks are not allowed to be shown in public. We all have them. I mean, the buttock, if you think about it, is just the upper part of your leg divided by that very famous crack. It protrudes a little bit, yeah, but that's all it is. So genitals I get, but we all share butts, and we all share nipples, and we all have breasts. So who was it that decided that for women, you just can't have them in public? I don't know. You know, back in the early 1900s, it actually was illegal for a man to bare his nipples. But the men protested this, and by 1936, a law was passed that said, okay, guys, go ahead, let's see some nipples. Women have not had that same privilege. Now, look, I'm not advocating that we have a bunch of topless women walking around because, frankly, I don't think men are good enough to not hassle them. It probably is much safer to stay covered up. You're probably much safer in like a suit of armor. But it just doesn't make sense in an area where, let's say, a person could feel safe, a woman could feel safe. She's with her husband, or she's with her family, or she's in an outing at the beach where no one's going to really bother you. But you can't do it. I don't know. It just seems that in a time when we're trying to fight for so many rights and women are making so many strides in our society, now the men, I admit, we keep trying to push them back to the 1950s, and that's not good. It's not good. Women are moving to more of a power of running our country. But I guess, for the most part, we'll never see them do it topless. And really, do we want to see Donald Trump topless? No. So maybe not a bad thing. If you like this episode, I hope that you'll hit that like, that subscribe button. Please remember to comment, and please remember to share, especially if you have information about this nipple subject. I know Jerry Seinfeld covered all of this and did a very good job of it. But his last episode was in the 90s. We're in 2024, and we still have the same problem. So please remember, hit like, hit comment, hit share, hit subscribe. Be safe, be kind. My friends, you will see me on the next episode of America 451. Now get out there and do something good and don't make me yell at you again. Bill Monty, out.